global vision, and we get an opportunity to have this special conversation about anxiety, where it can take you, but where the gems are when you really start learning that there's a way that you can do some strategies to discover how to naturally work with anxiety. And I want Paige Spears to really get in on this of what she was dealing with before, some things that have happened so she can share a bit of her journey. And then also the strategies she's doing now that has really helped her a lot. There's so many clients that I've talked to, and even me myself sometimes, getting caught up in anxiety to where it shifts your day in a way that it may shut you down. But there's so many other things that can happen. And I want to leave that for Paige to be able to share as ask questions, and we get in there and we learn more about this journey around this, because this is a lot about the health and wellness holistic journey. And I think you'll find this very interesting if you're learning how to live your life in a very clean way without going to medicine right away. And you may have some symptoms and some things going on. And so this will be a great conversation just for you to understand there's some other ways to do this. Paige Spears, welcome in, my friend.
Thanks for having me on, Rhonda. Good to be here.
And everybody, Paige came in today, and I was like, Paige, what are we talking about? Like, like I should know by then. But for some reason, I saw her on my calendar, and I was like, she looks interesting, but I don't think I've ever had a conversation with her. But we are in the same group, and I put my link out there, and I said, I want to interview people, and this is why. So Paige showed up. So this is going to be great. Paige, can you share with me anything you want about how you're living your life these days and where it was like around early 2000s and what was happening for you? And we will go from there. But whatever you want to share right now, just about who you are and what you've been working on.
Yeah, what I'd like to say there is that standard medicine does not have all of the answers. And I ended up in a situation of I actually took antibiotics, low-dose doxycycline, from about the time I was 13 through 19, and that was prescribed by a family doctor for acne. And that was one of the things that I just didn't question and probably should have, but who knew about things like that at the time? And also, then it was the same doctor who prescribed the benzodiazepines and clonazepam and paroxetine, and that's an SSRI for the general anxiety that really flared up in a big way when I was in my sophomore year in college.
Wow.
And so, what I've come to the conclusion of now is that the anxiety was likely brought on by the antibiotics and also less than optimal nutrition. And if I had had the resources, then I would have turned to nutritional psychiatry first, and that would have prevented the issues of medication tolerance and blood clots down the road.
Okay, we have a couple things here to work through. First off, I haven't really heard much about you said almost like nutrition psychology, if I'm right, which is very interesting if I'm saying it accurately. Is that right, Paige? Did I say
Yeah,
it right?
nutritional psychiatry.
Nutritional psychiatry, and then the other thing about blood clots. So we'll get into the psychiatry part of nutrition psychiatry. Can we go in about your health and what happened while you were taking this medicine and share about blood clots that were in I think your lungs, you said?
Yeah, the long-term effects of those medications were contributing to the blood clots, both the SSRIs, benzodiazepines, and also combo hormonal birth control that had been prescribed at the same time. Although in my case, it was just anxiety over are my periods normal or not. And so the same doctor prescribed all of those, and it was never further addressed or adjusted after that. So I took everything for the better part of 12 years, and I had a gene site test done finally in 2016 that showed genetic level incompatibilities with how my system would metabolize those medications.
Yeah.
And also, one of the side effects there listed was blood clots.
Wow. And we look at medicine, we start taking it. I mean, I was on medicine for 20 years for hypothyroidism, and every medicine you take, your body has to process it out every day whenever you're taking this pretty much every day. And you hear about all the side effects. When they had to start telling that on TV, where they were just like, blah, 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 and they were like saying everything, I couldn't believe how much side effects that happen with every medicine. And so you're talking about another way to be doing all this, and how basically you've been on this journey now of learning about your anxiety and learning about nutrition. And can you share more, because I bet we have some ideas of what people want to be looking at when they look at their medicine they're taking, or what's some different steps that they can be doing. So can you share what you've been working on when those things happened?
Yeah, yeah. Also, in 2005, I had my wisdom teeth taken out and antibiotics for that, and that further disrupted my microbiome and the neurotransmitters involved. So there was that. And then I finally started to, I felt better really gradually in 2016 and 2017 when I had the neurofeedback sessions, and those protocols were set up to get me back to a good emotional baseline, and it did. And then better nutrition picked up from there.
I love that you're talking about nutrition. As a health and wellness coach, I it amazed me when I started going to school and learning about these things, these alternative things. It was almost scary to talk about at first because it was so overwhelming from what I knew just in general population. Like, why didn't I know this stuff? And so when I started going to school, I started opening my voice more to these alternative ways to be able to get help. And can you, can you share the pivot point for you where you recognized that you could go get some help, and that the Western medicine approach just really did not serve you and does not serve many?
I
Where's
had
that
a
pivot
feeling about
point?
that around 2014 and 2015, even that there had to be other options and answers,
Yeah.
although it, of course, didn't really click until a number of years after that. And it just kind of gradually happened. And then I was more, when I could finally read again after the brain injury in 2016, I started to get more into the online summits about health and nutrition and the microbiome. And I got interested in that, and that showed me that there were additional answers and that it was the nutrition that was the big factor in a lot of things, and the relationship between the microbiome and neurotransmitter production and general health and well-being.
Whew. So what do you know about your microbiome and what you're doing for yourself right now? It sounds like you have really good ideas because you've been able to get healthier and understand, and still dealing with the repercussions of the blood clots and having a disability from that. What
Yeah,
are some of the things you're doing for yourself now as you are learning more about your stomach and what you need to do for that and how to keep healing?
yeah, it's been a lot in hindsight and realizing what I was doing and what was working in what ways. And I've also been noticing more that I need to tend to my hormones. And so I've been doing more of that in the last few months since last October, and I've started working with a naturopath after the integrated provider that I started working with in 2018 or so. There were some good general supplements and lab work done then, and that was good for a few years, and then it was more obvious as I've gotten older. Well, I need to do more with my hormone support, so I've started working with the naturopath, and I've had some detox protocols and also additional supplements to support my endocrine system and brain. Like there's Neuro O2 for oxygen level optimization in with my brain also, and fish oil and multivitamins and B vitamins, and we're working on getting the iron balanced.
Yeah. What I'm discovering, what you're saying is, when we first started off this conversation, we were talking about that you were taking medicine. And medicine, everybody's taking whatever that medicine is, and supposedly that medicine's going to take care of everybody for some certain issues that they're having.
Also, what we're working on with the naturopathic protocols is what can work with my systems that will also balance out the side effects from the Xarelto that I'm supposed to take for life.
I hear you. And what I love about what you're sharing here is that you are an individual. What does your body need? And what's the shifts you need with your food, with your supplements? And there must be some lifestyle protocols. Are you learning more about how to be living your life that makes you happy and focus? And there has to be something there that you work on too, besides the supplements and working with professionals. And what are you learning? I mean, do you do meditation? Do you go for walks? Do you talk to the trees? Do you go out to nature? Like, what's some of the wonderful things you're doing to make sure naturally you're rebalancing yourself the way you can?
Yeah, meditations and body work, and really getting my brain and my neuromuscular system on the same page again. That's a process. And therapeutic horseback riding.
Ooh, horses are so healing. I feel
Yeah,
the freedom
just
when I'm around those horses. What's the horse therapy doing for you?
we just had our first class of the spring session last night, and my horse's name is Zoe, and
Ooh.
she's a black and white mare, and well, she actually wanted to trot last night, and so the deal there was keeping her at a good walk.
Well, maybe she was just happy because she knew she had a love bug like you on her. I love.
Yeah,
I have horses. I live on 5 acres, and I have two horses. They're not mine, but they feel like they're mine. They're like our neighbors. But I talk to Whiskey every single day. And there's a new horse they have, Brawn. And Whiskey to me helps me make and create meditations because it's about freedom and like empowerment. And every time I'm by Whiskey, because I can't touch him because there's two fences, so it's too far for me to get to Whiskey. But when he knows I'm around, I don't feed him or anything. I just talk to him and I feel like he talks back to me. So he comes really close to the fence and I feel all this power. Like, our animals give so much healing and they really know. I mean, that's what they work on. They are consistently at this wonderful space, this frequency to be able to nurture us. And I
yeah,
love being nurturing back to them too.
yeah. Zoe likes me as an advanced rider. Well, I think that all of them, all of my longtime horses, the therapy horses did. And well, since I make their job more interesting, like Zoe did a few canter strides in the autumn session last year,
Uh-huh.
and I also got a Percheron Haflinger mix named Buddy to canter, which he hadn't done in years. And there was an Arabian Appaloosa mix named Huey, and we were all in class trotting over a low Cavaletti bar, and Huey jumped over it. That was fun.
Well, and I think about the breed Appaloosa and Arabian. That's spirit.
Hmm.
Appaloosas are known for just like woo, just like this freedom, and then Arabians are just so majestic and usually pretty hyper.
Yeah,
So you're an advanced writer. I love this. So
I've
let's.
been writing since I was uh, 13.
Oh,
Yeah, I really got into it then when I was 14.
okay. I like it. Let's go into this area about. At first, I don't want to pivot yet. I want to talk more about your wellness journey. And right now, I want to ask you what do you want to share that I haven't brought up yet about the stuff that you've learned along your journey with working with a doctor, realizing that this was not serving you. You got really sick, and now you're dealing with repairing your body. Is there some stuff I haven't asked you that I just want to make sure you share more, whatever you'd like to share in that space
Yeah,
before we
this
pivot
the
in another?
standard medical professionals could use more education on the additional whole person focused resources that can work beyond even their scope. Like, for instance, physical therapy. Well, their goal was to get me up and walking again, and they did. Although, what was missing was the attention to the neural connections that needed more detailed repair,
Mhm.
and how to effectively get out of the protective patterns from that time that I've been dealing with, and for better freedom of movement and more optimization. And
Yeah.
it's all a lot of it really a custom kind of scenario.
Yeah, like being able to see you as an individual and knowing that we're going to treat the whole body and you're going to be different than somebody else, and being able to have the system, if you're in the system, working with the doctor, you were learning to walk, to understand a lot about how to take care of those things instead of treating you just like everybody else. I think that's what is a big difference also when you start looking and working with somebody that is looking at the overall body and how the endocrine system is working, where are some areas that it may be having some struggles, and how to connect that, like what you're saying, connecting certain parts of the body to help you start walking again. I love that.
Yeah. And also, that's the need that I see in the brain injury community in general is more attention to personalized medicine. And what I'd like to do about that is to bring other brain injury survivors and their caregivers in a community alongside the functional and integrated medical professionals who can share all of the additional resources that can be good for them and hopefully sooner in the process.
Paige, I know someone, one of my clients, and she's had brain injuries because of some things that were happening to her in her life. And so just recently, she's been able to think clearer on some of the strategies that she's been doing. And all of a sudden, just everything that was in her brain, she was able to speak it more and quicker. And so I'm watching my client Michelle just grow and being able to express herself more and say the things that she's actually feeling. So I think I need to connect you to just to connect you because she's building a group where she's doing these types of things also, being able to help, like be an advocate, being able to help them find the right resources. So that might be someone you want to talk to because I think both of you have some great information to help each other. 'Cause I mean, I
Yeah.
always think about like-minded people. That's, because I say we're hashtag speaker locking arms. Like, how can we support each other and really help bring that vibration, that happiness factor out in the world? And that would be somebody I'd like to introduce you to. That'd be really fun to do that.
Yeah, and one of the challenges of the disability space is choosing to become an entrepreneur in it and looking for the right support to get my business idea off the ground and in a way that I can easily run and manage on my own and with others.
Perfect pivot, Paige. Perfect pivot. That's exactly what I was thinking where we're going to go next. Not a lot of people know this, that when you are having an injury like this and dealing with brain stuff, that there's some help out there. Can you share? And this was new to me. I didn't know this. Could you share with me how you've been able to get support and how you're educating people on there's information out there where you can get uh, donate time and things to get your business set right so you can get out there, give people the information they need to know and be an advocate, like what you're doing right now about the brain?
Yeah, since my vision went wonky and while I was able to relearn how to read, it isn't quite the same and not suitable for driving anymore. So I've had to find my own thing to do online, and that's where the business idea came in. And I've also gotten Social Security disability benefits and would like a way to supplement, if not surpass that. And so then that's that's where I am so far, and I've been able to use the resources of my local chamber of commerce with a small business liaison,
Yeah,
and there are also SCORE mentors available.
I love that. I didn't know that was available. And it sounds like you're looking for some more support. What's additional things you want to build in your business? Is it how to build a membership and have these people that are in the health and wellness industry that the professionals you're going to be working with? There's some structure that you know that you're going to put together for your business. So share like what you're doing in your business and what you're looking at building and some of the help you're looking for.
Yeah, well, the collaboration that I would like is with someone who perhaps has the knowledge of the best people to connect with and systems that can be built and put in place in my business for better efficiency and to really get things going. And also, what we need is standard medical provider education about the additional options that clients can be referred to when standard medicine is has reached the limits of its resources.
I love it. It seems like you've met quite a few people that you want to help, people that want to come into your membership where they come in and they're going to get support from the providers. Are you working with only local people? Because you said online, so these could be people from anywhere. Is that accurate, or is it in your location? How are you doing that?
Starting with my local providers and also extending to the some of the other professionals that I've interviewed on my Choose Greater Health show.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so I want to type this in here so it shows. So what's your show called?
The Choose Greater Health show.
And that's also the name of your Facebook group.
Yeah, the Choosing Greater Health community.
I love it. This is great. So I want to put the Greater Health Show and then your Facebook, and we'll put it right down here. Did I put that right?
Yes.
Choose Greater Health Show. Did I put that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we also have your Facebook group that I want to make sure that we have there too. And then is your show, to make sure that people, if they want to subscribe to your show, because it sounds like it's on YouTube out
Yeah.
um so is that where you hold so you have a video show like that you're interviewing people?
Yeah. And that is every Friday in March at 2 p.m. Central, and then every second and fourth Fridays after that, also at 2 p.m. Central.
Wow, okay. That's a schedule. I don't know if I was ready for that. I'm trying. I'm like, whoo. I'm gonna ask you again so we have that, because I want people to have resources to you. And so here is the Facebook group, but this will go in the link in YouTube right now. So I'll make sure that that gets to you. And then show times you were sharing, because this sounds lovely. So what are the days of the week?
Every Friday in March.
Every Friday in March.
For Brain Injury and Blood Clot Awareness Month.
Brain injury and blood clot. I know, because March is about that, huh? So that's what you're focusing in on interviewing.
Yeah.
And that what time do you go live?
2 p.m. Central.
PM Central. Okay.
And then every second and fourth Friday after that.
And then April and moving forward. And then what was the date?
Every second and fourth Friday.
And fourth Friday at 2 p.m. still? 2 p.m. Central?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we got that. And then we have this also, so they know when it's moving forward, but I'll bring it right back in a moment so everybody knows this month how they can get back to you. But I'm just going to put that out there for a moment as we're talking. What are you learning more about yourself and about others when it comes to healing? You're doing natural things and all this stuff. It sounds like you're noticing you're getting healthier and healthier. So
yeah, everything is very complex, and there can be different challenges coming up at different points in life too. And self-compassion is key.
It's like taking a breath and really being able to hear that person and see and hear them, to understand where they're coming from. The body's always speaking to us too. And that's where your wellness practitioners are probably learning quite a bit too, just and being able to listen to what you're dealing with physically, emotionally, plus maybe if they're taking blood and they're testing. I love doing muscle testing also. Just kind of check.
That's what my naturopath does.
Muscle testing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are healing, which is beautiful. When you're taking medicine stops the symptoms, because that's what the smarts is in this, in that type of business, but it doesn't help heal. It appears that things just get worse and worse as time goes on, as you're learning to get better and better by learning the wellness approach. I love that. Anything else you want to share with us? Because I want to make sure that I'm gathering as much information as possible as you are out there with your crusade and helping others too.
That's it for now.
Okay. Paige Spears, thank you for sharing this with us. This is extremely important information. So many people dealing with brain injuries, and due to Western medicine. And we need to get that information out there and discover how we can really fix these big issues that are happening. And so everybody, please get connected with Paige. I'm going to put up again her show for a moment here. And then, so Paige, probably the best thing is for them to get in your Facebook group so they can learn more and know what the next steps are to be able to know more about how to get some help.
Yeah.
Okay. And your show is called Choose Greater Health Show. And it sounds like, Paige, you're done. You're like, oh, that's it. Hey, Paige, send me information for your show and I'll put this also in here. Okay. Thank you. Love everybody. What a great conversation. Let's make sure that we learn more and more about this health and wellness industry and don't jump right into taking medication right away. Love you.